Hey guys and welcome to Womble and Ho the Man review Hellbent from Doctor Who Series 9. There will be spoilers ahead. So basically this is the finale of Season 9, and really the finale of a three-part serial. I've actually gone back and rewatched all three of those episodes in one big long marathon today, and really enjoyed it. I thought together they all work really well. Um, so yeah, and it's kind of a cool ending. I really enjoyed it. I thought the writing was fantastic. Cinematography was brilliant as usual. The score, like it went through it. The score went through some massive changes throughout, and if you actually listen to it, there's a lot of going back to 80s Doctor Who and going back to 70s Doctor Who and taking a lot of the score from there and putting it into Murray Gold's score, and Murray Gold's done a fantastic job. Peter Capaldi was brilliant, and it was a nice contrast this episode, having the Doctor silent for the first 15 minutes or so, and letting the Time Lords do all the talking. And we're back on Gallifrey.
Yes, we're back in Gallifrey at the end of time. Well,
Near enough the end of time, yeah. So we find out that. So what is this is what's happened to the Doctor, and I'll break it down.
I have a question.
Yes.
Right, this is why. Okay, the Doctor was 4.5 or 2 billion years in there,
Yeah.
but he's a copy of the original. He doesn't have memories of all them 4 billion years.
No.
He's just a copy of the original.
Well, actually, yes, he does have memories, and this is why. He is stuck in a time loop in his confession dial, right? That was the original confession dial. The minute he was transported out at the end of Face the Raven, he was put in the confession dial that was then in Maisie Williams' hands, which also makes sense why the stars he recognised, because that was actually Earth. So he was looking out of the confession dial and up from wherever that confession dial was. Okay, so when he breaks through that wall and he gets out of the confession dial, all of those memories, all of those copies are now in his head, because that is all him. So everything that has happened is all him. So everything that he remembers is every single instant. So he does remember everything, and he knows everything, and that is why he's holding all this weight through. Like that first scene when he pops out of the confession dial, and he's like, "Tell them I know what they did, and I took the long way around." He remembers.
That's
all
not really
of that
the
time.
beginning of the episode. The beginning of the episode is him driving to a diner.
Well, yeah, okay. I meant the end of. I'm now putting it all in context because you can watch these side by side, and that is the end of the episode, or the beginning of this episode, because it brings you into this story. So that was the first thing he did because he was so enraged. Now he walks into the diner, as you said, and it's confusing because this really confused me because I honestly thought that he had wiped Clara's mind. I genuinely thought that for all of this episode. I was like, he's wiped Clara's mind. And I was not happy. I was genuinely not happy with it. I was like, they've already done this. Why do they need to feel the need to do this? Okay, let's just watch the story. But the bits on Gallifrey, like you can see his rage, and his rage, it's silent rage as well. So you really feel the impact of it. And there's I don't know if you noticed, but this is what I realised today. There are two scenes that are side by side, from Heaven Sent and Hellbent, right? In Heaven Sent,
Is it a
he is
soup?
sat. Pardon?
Is it a soup scene?
Yeah, it's the soup. In
Because I've seen the Doctor actually eat a meal and it's soup both times.
well, yeah,
He had chips.
fish custard. When he is in Heaven Sent in his confession dial, he is sat on this table eating this red soup. I'll call it tomato soup. It could be anything. He is eating this soup, alone. Then he is talking to himself at that point because, well, he's using his inner monologues to talk. But in the next scene, when he's actually got people to talk to, he doesn't say a word. And in Hellbent, he is crowded by Gallifreyans. They're not Time Lords, they're Gallifreyans. And he doesn't say a word to them, but they are all respecting him. And the army come out. So there is the similarity there of him talking to himself when he's on his own, but then when he has people to talk to, he doesn't say anything because he's gone through a lot. And that is why you can see that he remembers every single second of Heaven Sent, which I think is truly unbelievable. It's brilliant.
So he makes a line. A scene that I loved, and I noticed it the first time when he goes to the barn that's been shown twice now in
3 times.
3 times.
It was in
The day.
Before Doctor's Story, Listen, and now this.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah,
Not
3.
4.
Huh?
You said 4.
I said 3.
I said 3. You said 4.
You said 2.
I said 3.
Oh, well, it sounded like 2. But anyway, yeah, 3. 3 times. So,
Is that episode called Listen?
yes.
Listen. I really like that scene with Clara and the young doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But when he gets to the barn and there's the lady there, she never says his name. Every time she comes in, she says less and less each time because she's more and more shocked. And the only thing she really says is, "They'll kill you." And he says nothing to her, but she never says his name or goes doctor. She just instantly knows, even though he has regenerated 12 times or how many times he's regenerated. She still remembers this child.
Yes. Now.
No, I'm saying that's great that she knows who he
Yeah,
is.
yeah. The reason why they did that was because in the past they've said, especially when it was like the Master and the Doctor, whenever you see another Time Lord, you instantly know who they are, because it's just an instinct in the Time Lords. Now, I don't think she is a Time Lord, but I think she can regenerate. She is from origins of Gallifreyan. See, the Time Lords, they are the highborns of the Gallifreyans, so they are the ones that are born in the Citadel. The Gallifreyans are like peasants that live around the outskirts.
Can they all regenerate though?
I'm not sure. I don't know. There is an episode where the peasants of Gallifrey are in, and they are like the main protagonist in that story in classic Doctor Who. But I cannot remember that story for the life of me. I remember I really liked it. I can't even remember which Doctor it was, but I'm 100% sure that there is a serial where those Gallifreyans are present, and there is like a civil war going on, or something small, like an uprising.
So the Doctor's back home, and we'll get to the scene with Missy. What I felt was fantastic. Just the whole scene of the lighting and that scene with Missy was amazing. Not Missy. The actress her real name is Missy. Sorry,
Maisie, not Missy.
But he's home. He doesn't talk, he says. He puts a line in the sand. He changes. He's not wearing the purple, not the purple, the purple / wine colour.
The velvet
jacket. He's wearing, as you said, he's like the first Doctor.
Yeah, he's actually wearing the jacket of the first Doctor. I think it's something similar, and that also makes you think that he has sort of gone home. Now, I don't think it's his home. I think it's somewhere that he would go like as recreation. So they were like his friends. Like his friends would live there. His home is somewhere in the Citadel because that maybe not born, but because there's a lot of lore on Time Lords, and a lot of it conflicts.
But like in the episode, Listen, there's a whole scene like he'll never get into the academy if he's crying or something about him crying.
Yes, yeah.
And
Um,
and he's there and he must stay there. That must be like his safe place.
yeah, maybe.
Because he's asked.
It's a barn, so it's not his home, and it's in the middle of nowhere. But I think it
Though
belongs to his family.
though if he's a kid, it's been thousands and thousands of years. It could have been a farm, like a proper farm at one point.
Oh yeah, no, it could have been, but
Because I was
in
expecting.
all the old serials, Gallifrey's always been like a Mars-like planet, and it's always been very orange.
But the
And,
way David Tennant, I know I'm keeping jumping over, the way David Tennant explained it to Martha,
mm,
he's talked about red grass, or was he talking to Rose about red grass?
yeah, it was to Martha. The thing is, I think with that he was over fantasizing, so he was trying to make it sound better than what it really was, or maybe he was seeing it from his point of view as a child, um, and we're looking at it from how it really is. I don't know. I mean, you're always a lot fonder with
The past.
well places where you live. Like if you grow up somewhere, you always have nostalgic references to that place. So I think he was doing that style of device there, especially because he never told Martha about, well, until the Master came around, he never told Martha about, like, the bad Time Lords or the time, like, the proper Time War and what the Time Lords turned into and that sort of thing. He chose to remember it a certain way. So I think the David Tennant Doctor, the 10th Doctor, he adjusted his memories slightly
Well, he
just
even
to make himself a bit
I
more
don't. Matt
happier.
Smith even said, "I choose to remember them the way they were before they got." I was it David Tennant or Matt Smith?
No, that was David Tennant.
David Tennant.
Yeah, it's his choice of how to remember things. That was the end of time with Rassilon again. So that actually is quite a good link in with this because we have a new Rassilon played by Donald Sumpter, and I'm ashamed that I had to look up that name literally before we were just about to record. However, I haven't made any notes really for this. I've just wrote down like a few little things, but yeah, no, he's actually been in quite a lot of things in the UK, and anyone who watches Game of Thrones, that's mainly where they'll know him from. He's also been in a few films that people might recognise him from. Um, but my main thing that I remember him from was being human. This was a BBC Three TV show about a vampire, a werewolf, and a ghost living in the middle of Bristol. And he was the main bad guy in this. Or he was for like a season.
Spoilers.
And he was terrifying. He was genuinely terrifying. And when I saw him as Rassilon, I generally thought, I related him to that character. And you don't really know he's Rassilon until right at the end, until he says, "I am Rassilon."
Well, the staff and the glove kind of gave it away.
Yeah, it did.
And the scene where
his whole wardrobe gave it away, and the fact that he's president. But
yeah, well, he's Raslan. I couldn't see really anyone else being the president of Gallifrey. Though I know there has been other presidents, like the Doctor was the president for a time, and then in this episode, he took over to be the president. Seems like a bit of a dictatorship. He was not voted in. I didn't see a vote or him campaigning.
I think he's already been in office in the past anyway, and he was voted in then. So I would imagine they're just reinstating him
So
as a war hero. But he's not going to stay president. He's wandered off now. He's running away. That's what the Doctor does.
I like the Sisterhood of Karn was in this.
Yes, I like that as well.
And I also like they have the same colouring as Time Lords.
Well, that's where the Time Lords get their life force from. Is supposedly the Sisterhood of Karn on Karn itself. I think in the Eighth Doctor's Regeneration special, where she first appeared, she says that she has the immortal life or life force of something. And Paul McGowan's doctor goes, "Yes, the eternal flames of boredom," which is a really cool line, and it's something memorable, and I'm glad that they keep bringing her back into it.
She's a good, and I love the scene when the Doctor does run away. She goes, "Boy."
Yes, yeah, because of course she is immortal, so she has lived way longer than the Doctor. It doesn't matter how old the Doctor is, like technically 4 billion years old now, but
I don't like the way that they keep on making him older in the last few seasons.
well,
They like purposely do things to make him much older.
actually, if you do know a bit of lore about Doctor Who, there nobody knows his real age. Okay, now TARDIS Archives is a YouTuber, and he actually did a really great video to explain how old the Doctor really was. Now, he went through because Sylvester McCoy's Doctor said that he was over 1,000 years old, and then it comes back to Christopher Eccleston. Well, all of a sudden he's 900 again. But there is a Big Finish serial with Paul McGowan's Doctor where he said, "I'm going to call myself Zero and start again," and he supposedly starts counting again. So I actually like the fact that he keeps aging. But Stephen Moffat has actually said this, and this is something I think that sums up the Doctor. He doesn't know how old he is. He lies. He lies about his age because how could he possibly know? He's a time traveler. How would he able to? I mean, how is he? Is it human years? Is it Gallifreyan years? How does he know how many years on Gallifrey it's been since Gallifrey has blown up? Because he wouldn't know that because there's no way to record that time level because there's no way. And David Tennant's Doctor, there's a lot of stories with that Doctor, and he only supposedly aged 3 years. That doesn't make sense.
It
So
could be for for making it easier for humans, saying I'm 900 human years.
well, this is the thing. What TARDIS Archives suggests, and he's a really he's probably the biggest Doctor Who fan, because he knows everything. He knows a lot more than me. He reads all the Big Finish, or listens to all the Big Finish. He reads all the books. He's watched all the classic episodes loads of times. He's on Doctor Who panels. He just knows everything, and he's said that what has probably happened is when it got to the 10th Doctor, he wanted to stay one age because he didn't want to age. So all that time that he was with Rose and Martha and Donna and on his own traveling and running, that was actually probably like thousands of years worth for him. But it doesn't matter because he doesn't count it because he just wants to stay one age. He's going through like a midlife crisis. He doesn't want to get old. That is what his Doctor's supposed to be, supposedly. So that's why he's always 900. This is the theory. That's why he's always 900 for the 10th Doctor. And then when he gets a bit older, he moves on. The 11th Doctor comes through, and he starts counting his age again, or he tries to count, and he keeps up. He gets up to like 12,000, and then Translaw happens. 1,200. And then Translaw happens, and then it's over 2,000 years.
It was like 800 something years.
Peter Capaldi, he actually says, I've been around for nearly 2,000 years, but he never actually says one specific age. No. So I think he stopped counting again, and this makes it evident with the 4 point whatever billion years that he was in his convection dial trapped in there. They technically count on his age, but he hasn't aged because he's kept regenerating himself and he's stuck in a time loop. So he counts as 4 point whatever billion years, but he's not going to count them. I don't think he keeps track, and I don't think Moffat will want to keep track of his age. So there will be hints every so often, but for the most part, the Doctor lies. he lies about his age.
Do you think it was a bit of a cop out when? So I'm jumping a bit. So they're asking him about. He's now the president has left. He's told the president to
He's
get
been
off his
banished. He's been
banished
banished
into the end of time where there's only a few places left.
Yeah, they even said that Russell probably won't even find anywhere.
He said the council's next, and the commander, who I didn't even get his name, who was in the 50th anniversary and who regenerated into a woman.
Yeah. Did you see that little nod there that they had? She said, "Oh, I'm finally back to normal. I'm finally a woman again. It's so weird being a man, that sort of thing." That I reckon that is a hint. Okay, I think that's a very subtle hint. They're saying the Doctor at some point, most of his in fact, all of his regenerations so far have been men. He is a man, but at some point he will turn into a woman. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure that that's going to happen soon. If not the next regeneration, I think it will be a woman. I think that was the nod to that.
I again hope that never happens.
Really? Why? Why not?
We've talked about this. It's just a thing that I think the Doctor should be a man, and that
Sexist pig.
It's not being sexist.
Okay, so all your female friends out there, hate Kev right now. He hates women. He doesn't want the woman to be the hero. He wants the woman to be a little companion at the side.
Dick.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, I think it would be a really good dynamic. It would change everything up completely. The companion actually then becomes the male figure. He's like the side role. And you could get some great companions in there, or have an all-female cast and just like really nail it home. And I think it would be generally really good. It would be really interesting. It's Doctor Who. Change happens. You've got to get used to it. You've got to pick it up and just go with it. So yeah.
So getting back to the not interrogation, him discussing with the president's guard. Let's call it the president's guard because I cannot remember his name being said. He's talking about what the Matrix about prophecies. Some prophecies, and the Doctor's like, no. Most prophecies, no. All of the prophecies, yes. And he goes, I need help. And it's like he's basically done all of this to just get Clara back. And rip her from just a few seconds before she actually dies, happy away from death. Just to save his friend.
Yeah, so he does. He goes through all of that, and he goes through all of that pain and all that torture. He literally goes through a torture device. The confession dial is turned into a torture device, and he goes through that torture and literally tells the torturers what they want to hear, because he doesn't know who the hybrid is. It's established later, and it's also established later that he was as a kid, and this is the thing that I actually really liked, and I like to think about. It's established that as a kid, a boy, he refers to himself as a boy, he stumbles into the Matrix, and he finds a way out, but only after hearing about this hybrid, and he gets scared and he runs away. Now think about that for a second. The minute he runs away, and he turns himself slightly crazy and slightly mad and very angry at people. Now think about that for a second.
That sounds like the first Doctor.
Yeah, that is the first Doctor. So he was referring to himself as a kid, but the first Doctor, he was really, really old when he started. Sorry. I need a name. Fuck.
William Hartnell?
William Hartnell. Jesus Christ. Oh, I hate myself. William Hartnell, he looked really old, and that was why they cast him at the time, because they wanted someone really old to play this.
Yeah, but he could have been
But in the terms of the Time Lords, he's still a kid, because he's only in his first regeneration. He's he's only probably maybe 200 years old. He's young. He's a kid. He's still working through the academy. He even says in a lot of the William Hartnell serials that he just couldn't kick it in the academy and he walked out. Um, so yeah, no, I like the fact that thinking Time Lords aging is completely different to humans, obviously. Um,
I
childhood, the Master has said this before, childhood, his childhood was in service to the Time Lords. Now, is that the first 3 or 4 regenerations? The way that the Time Lords treat the Doctor at the end of his second regeneration is that of a child. He is cast out and taken all of his toys off him and forced to regenerate. So when for Time Lords does childhood end? Is it after like the 4th regeneration, 5th regeneration maybe? I don't know, but it comes to question it. I would imagine midlife crisis is probably the 9th regeneration, maybe the 10th. But yeah, no, I like
well,
that.
definitely the 90s. Start wearing leather.
Well,
And he went for a young, well, I don't know what age
well,
Rose is supposed to
no, think about it. Think about it. The 9th regeneration of the Doctor is the War Doctor. It's not Christopher Eccleston. He's the 10th regeneration. The
But-
11th regeneration is actually the 10th Doctor. You've got to actually think about regenerations, not the actual Doctors. So yeah,
be.
I
Can't see me flipping
I
you
just
off
really
now.
like the lore of Doctor Who. Sorry.
You can't see me flipping you off. How to get? We keep on getting sidetracked. This is like an episode of off topic.
Well, okay. Well, we can finish it off because we're fairly...
We haven't even discussed half the episode. It's a 16
Yeah, we have.
minutes.
Well, we've gone over the best bits, I think. I mean, what else is there to talk about?
The scene with him and Clara at the Matrix, and he explains, as you said, about being he went mad and stole a moon and a wife, and turned out being a daughter.
Yeah. That story was actually in The Magician's Apprentice. Missy told that story to Clara, so Clara actually already knew that story, which was really weird. That's a little information. I remember that.
Oh. But when she discovers how long it's been, and they come in and they go, "How long it's been?" and
she gets angry.
The-
She is
the woman from
furious.
Khan, I don't know what that character's name is. Female priest.
No, I don't know. It's the Sisterhood of Khan, and I can't remember who's in charge.
When she just blatantly throws it out there, you can see her rage, and she says something to the Doctor, and she just goes, "Everyone hates you. Everyone hates the Time Lords." And then she's like, "You're not looking." And then there's a big scene where this is the weirdest. Like, the Doctor basically has done all of this, every single thing, just to save Clara, brings her to the end of time to talk to the hybrids, and it's me. And they have this great conversation, fantastic mood through the whole thing. And he goes, "You're the hybrid," and she's like, "Well, maybe you're the hybrid. You're a high-born Gallifreyan. Why'd you like Earth so much?" And when she said that, I instantly went, "Matt talked about the movie. Please do not bring the movie into it."
I was like, no, please no. But actually, it's not that. They didn't actually bring in his half-human. They actually said that really, actually, the hybrid is him and the Master, or him and Clara. That was the hint. Which I kind of like that. But when he came out of the confession dial and said the hybrid is me, he actually meant me as in a shielder. So because he doesn't actually know, he's just saying what he presumes, and the Doctor presumes that it is me. So yeah, that was a nice little thing. I like the fact that they mentioned Missy. I was hoping that she would...
Yeah, I was kind of hoping there was going to be a scene with Missy or something.
But actually, thinking about it, how would she know where Gallifrey is?
Well, no, I was thinking maybe her just be the one who picks him up when the when the other TARDIS goes off and leaves his TARDIS. I thought it'd be funny if Missy picked him up.
Right.
And I was kind of right about what happens to the painting all over it.
Yeah. I thought that would happen as well, to be fair.
Now, so they had this great conversation, and the Doctor and Clara basically try to wipe each other's minds, or one of them's gonna lose their memories.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Doctor. And it makes Clara, and I hate that you've been saying this from the very beginning, she's gonna become more than the Doctor.
And she has. She literally has. She became more than.
Is she immortal now? Can she die?
No, oh yeah, no, she still dies. That death is still established.
Can she die somewhere else?
No,
or is she like
because she's not alive. So she is. That's why she's with me, because she's immortal as well. She can't die. So yeah, but
what?
I don't like that they've got Clara now flying around in her own TARDIS with a shielder. I don't like that.
I don't like they made the stupid joke of the chameleons there not working.
Yeah, that was a bit cheesy, and again, kids show. Doesn't
I know.
matter.
And the best scene.
Brush it under the carpet. They were trying to get a bit of humour into a very serious thing. You know, the Doctor's literally lost his mind. It's actually the opposite of what happened with Donna. So I was actually really pleased with that. So I was the first time I watched it, I was like, what? No, they can't. No, they can't do that. What? And then the second time, I was like, actually, yeah, no, this is really good. And now I've thought about it and processed it, and I'm like, that was actually a really good ending. That was a great way to end Clara, because she has her sort of happy ending, but she still dies a painful, horrible death, which we've seen.
I really hope she never comes back. The only way they could ruin this by bringing her back in an episode where she has to help the Doctor, her and me help the Doctor in some way.
Well, no, there are other ways to bring her back. Like I said before, she's scattered all across the Doctor's time stream.
I know, but I don't want that character, the
last version of Clara to come back in like a TARDIS. Yeah, no, I don't think they will. I think, I hope they won't. They do have this problem of not being able to leave things alone.
Yeah.
And if Jenna Louise Coleman says, look, I wouldn't mind being in an episode, like a one-off special, she'll probably come back and it'll be great.
They could have me in it, because...
Oh yeah, no, I think me is going to be in next season, I think.
But it'd just be a different point in Me's, because me has lived to the end of time. But the only thing I was thinking of, when Me gave her other immortal thing, because I originally thought that immortal thing was going to be used on Clara when I saw it. It was used on this other guy.
Rufus Hound, that's the actor's name.
Well,
yes.
And the Doctor doesn't know if it will work anymore or what's up. I thought he'd be come back. I thought he was going to be in the seasons somewhere.
Well,
because he also took a guess. He was like, "Are you lying?"
Well, he obviously died because a shielder or Me literally says like she's alone. Again, at the beginning of Face the Raven. So I reckon he's died. The Doctor said that the power in the amulet could have been drained because he had to sacrifice himself. So yeah, I think that's probably what's happened. He probably lived. I'd like to think he lived a nice and fruitful, long life, but he still died.
As sometimes they do in Doctor Who, forget characters.
Yeah. Now,
but the best scene, well, so Clara and Me fly off in their own TARDIS, and then the Doctor sees his TARDIS with the painting going, "Oh, I've just been talking to Clara."
No. He hasn't thought that. He's thought, why is that face on my... I don't think he realises that was Clara. I just think that he realises that that girl was maybe special. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. But then it happens. They do something I'm very happy. They do 3 things I'm super happy of. The Doctor changes clothes. because he even said it. He can't always be the Doctor.
Hmm.
So, and when the first Doctor was the Doctor, he wasn't really the Doctor we know. It wasn't until the second and third.
Well,
Or Ulin.
I would say the first Doctor was the Doctor. Throughout his story, like the companions that came into
No,
his
but
life, they changed him. He started off really
yeah, but
grumpy.
he started as a grumpy shit.
Yeah, no, he did. But actually, towards the end, he was really lovable. And it was very sad. Like his ending was very, very sad. And he didn't. It wasn't actually that big because at the time William Hartnell was very ill and very sick, so they had to cut him out, and that was why he got changed, and because he was very sick and he couldn't remember his lines anymore. But
Yeah,
he
the
liked the companions
documentary.
he was with. He wasn't the grump anymore. He was more like the lovable grandpa, and his character changed a lot. And that's why I love those serials, because actually, the one Doctor that has the biggest character arc is the first Doctor's, because he literally, the first episode, he doesn't like, oh, I can't remember their names. I know the actor's name's William someone, but I can't remember. Susan is the granddaughter. But anyway, he doesn't like the two teachers. And the first few serials, he doesn't
Well,
get on with them.
But he also tries to kill a caveman because he doesn't want to carry them.
Sort of, yeah.
So he didn't
But
really
then,
have his codes back then. But I like the way
and,
that he threw his jackal on that Clara said, it's a very nice go. Where he's like, "Alright, I'm the Doctor." So he does these three things. He changes. He dresses like the Doctor, like him. He clicks his finger to close the door. There was one thing I haven't seen him really do in a while. I think the last time I saw him or Clara do that was in Matt Smith's.
no, I think I'm pretty sure Peter Capaldi's done it before. He's definitely clicked his fingers. I can't think when though, but
And
I'm sure he has, because he does that flick of his hand more than a click.
and then they did the best thing that I've really wanted all series.
New screwdriver.
A fucking new, kind of a bit, a little busy kind of screwdriver. But I was watching the video today. It's to resemble the TARDIS.
Yes, yeah, and actually at filming they didn't have the proper
Yeah,
screwdriver. So, yeah, you probably watched the same video. It's on the Doctor Who channel. It's Peter Capaldi shows off his new screwdriver. He doesn't know what it does. He doesn't know the features because he hasn't even had it for filming yet, because he would have had a prototype when he grabs it from the air. Then the close-up of that screwdriver is, I think that's someone else's hand, because Capaldi wasn't been free for that little shot.
But I like it. So he's back to the Doctor. He's clicking his finger. The only thing I wanted them to do is grab the psychic paper and put it in his front pocket. I'm like, does the piss mat off? Just take your psychic paper out and put it in your front pocket. Come on.
Yeah, but he uses the psychic paper. He's been using it all the way through this season. So
I know, and
that's not fun.
I'm
But
happy they got rid of them stupid glasses.
well, they were actually growing on me a little bit. I actually quite liked. I like the fact that they were trying to make the Doctor cool and rocky, because he wasn't really. Actually, if you think about it, he hasn't really been too much of the Doctor. It's more been a story of Clara this last series. So it's all been about Clara, most of the serials. So I kind of like the fact that he's trying to be like really cool and playing the guitar and stuff like that, and wearing sunglasses fits in with that rock star sort of
Yeah,
style.
I
So
really-
it sort of makes sense. But
I
I'm glad
really,
they've got a new screwdriver, and
Yeah.
it looks really cool. I really like the style of it, the way it flashes, and yeah, I really like it. It also reminds me a little bit of older ones as well, slightly.
the only thing I didn't like is when Matt Smith and David Tennant got new ones. It kind of popped out of the control panel. In this one, it kind of formed from like atoms around it. Is the only thing I wasn't super like.
Well, I mean,
Nice scene and all, but
yeah, but I mean, if you've got the technology for it, I mean, you've got to update Doctor Who. You can't like stay. I mean, the way that when he destroyed his first Sonic and then he got out his new one. I mean, they didn't have the technology or the visual effects to be able to do like it materializing out of nowhere. But I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I like the fact that the TARDIS flung the screwdriver at it. It's like, hey, you're back. There you go.
Yeah, use this for fuck's sake. What are you playing at? You
Yeah.
daft old fuck.
Yeah. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed this season. I think it's been the best season so far out of all the Doctor Who's.
I wouldn't have gone that far.
No, I generally do. I reckon it's been the best one. I think it's told the best stories. It's right starting off right from the beginning. It's been go. None of the episodes I've not really liked. I've really enjoyed all of them. So yeah, I do tend to think this every single time, and it's not until I watch it back that I sort of readjust.
I always prefer the last season to this season, always. But Matt Smith was like one of my favorite Doctors. I really like his last year.
Yeah, but it was in half. It was in half.
I know, and
that ruined that season as a whole season. If you've got to look at it as a whole, the way it was produced and the way it was shown on TV, it was boring. It was half cut. There was two parts to it. There was the Amy Pond part that sort of the episodes were a bit lost on weight writing wise, and then the second half with Clara, they were brilliant episodes. But you're only just learning about Clara, and it's a new Doctor as well because he's just came out of the depression from Amy. So that series just isn't perfect. I would say the last perfect season has probably been the third season with the Master. Like the way that they hint, the subtle hints of the Master coming back, the way that they manage to bring his ride, and then the Master wins, and then it's. The last episode isn't actually the Doctor. The Doctor's not in the last episode. It's all about Martha, and that is what Doctor Who has been. It's been about the companions. It's not been about the Doctor, and that is the mystery of it. Because you're following the companion story of finding this Doctor, instead of the Doctor finding the companions.
Now this is probably till we will be doing the Christmas review.
Yeah, it might be quite a bit after though, because I will be very busy over Christmas.
Yeah, obviously. But me and Matt have been talking about doing other things. But if you have any ideas or things that you'd like me and Matt to do,
no. I'm not listening to those idiots.
Throw it down in the comments below.
And I won't do them. Kev can do them. I won't do them.
There's a few things we've been thinking of.
You've been thinking of.
Yeah, you've had an idea. You've had one idea.
Yeah, I'm really not that fussed, to be honest.
So, I have been Hodderman Techo Woman.
And I've been Mr. Womble.
Till Christmas or the next year, this has been the Doctor Who review. Blah, 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 blah.
God. Jesus.
Yeah, he can't see me flipping them off. Till next time, take care. Goodbye. See ya!